What does it mean to be on fire? And should you be aiming to be on fire? Hi, my name is Dave Grant. I'm the founder of Retirement Matters, and this is the 5-Minute Retirement Plan Podcast. Today we are talking about FIRE. We're not talking about being on fire, but FIRE is an acronym for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Now, this is a big topic area, so we're not going to be really able to explore all of it in the next 5 to 7 minutes, but I'm going to give you some highlights of what this is, and if this is something that you want to pursue, how to go about that. So before I jump into the FIRE movement, if you want a deep breakdown of this, go check out an episode on my other podcast, Playbook of the Wealthy, and it's episode 2 where we explore all the different types of FIRE movements and if you should be involved in it. So what is FIRE? Being financially independent and retiring early. What does that even mean? Well, it means that you have saved enough or you've earned enough credits in a pension system where you could retire tomorrow and all of your assets and all of your cash flow can cover all your expenses for the rest of your life and you don't have to do anything else. Now, a lot of people like to get to this stage early, so that essentially brings in the retire early part. And if they're, say, 45 when they do that, if they're financially independent, they can retire early, hence FIRE. Now, there's different types of FIRE. You've got fat FIRE, lean FIRE, coast FIRE, barista FIRE. They all have kind of different twerks on them. So if you've got fat FIRE, that essentially means that you are living a large lifestyle with a lot of expenses, and you've got a large portfolio that's going to be able to support that. Lean FIRE is the exact opposite. You live a minimalist lifestyle, doesn't require that much money, and your portfolio doesn't have to be as large. Now, barista FIRE, that's a fun one. Typically, you could take any job, so you could go and become a barista, and you could earn X amount of money. It doesn't even matter what it is, and your portfolio is going to cover it, but you're actually doing something as a job for fun. It could be a hobby that you've turned into a job. You might really enjoy coffee, so that's why you might want to go and be a barista, but you're essentially just working to work and be involved in the community and kind of give back in whatever way you want to, but you don't necessarily need to work. The last one we'll talk about is coast FIRE. Now, this is one that I actually really enjoy. This is one where you're working at a job, but you don't necessarily need to save anymore. You have got enough in investments that should you retire tomorrow, you have enough savings and investments and cash flow that you're essentially going to be set for the rest of your life. So this becomes essentially you can do whatever job you want to do, but you don't have to save anymore. So this is where people get to a point in their career and they are enjoying their job and they realize, okay, I don't have to save to my 401k. I don't have to save to my HSA anymore. I've got the money that I need. And so I've got all these choices. And they essentially can just coast for as long as they want to, up to a retirement age that they choose. So what are people doing if they're part of the FIRE movement? Well, for one, they're saving a lot. They're saving upwards of 30, 40, 50% of their income. They're really not having a spend it all lifestyle. They're very much wanting to grow their assets to be a lot larger than your everyday person so they can get that choice. And that choice can be, okay, I might work. I might not work. I'm going to pick up a hobby and try and turn it into a job. Or I'm going to coast at work. I'm not pushing for a promotion. If I'm a lawyer, I'm not pushing for a partner. I'm just enjoying my work and leaving at the end of the day because I know that I don't need to push to get more and more money because I'm already there. Now, some questions that I get are, how do I know if I'm even there at FIRE? The quick way to get about that answer is to take all of your investment assets, and let's ignore pensions for this part, and times it by 4% or 5%. You choose which one you want to use. You're essentially going to say, if I need $80,000 a year right now, I need a portfolio of around $2 million to be able to support that. Am I there yet? If you are, you can start thinking about FIRE, and if that's something you want to pursue. If you're not there yet, then you're obviously not going to be part of the movement and you need to keep saving. Now, there are two main challenges I see when people are trying to get into this FIRE movement. One is going to be you need your portfolio to last you a long time. So you need to have it invested appropriately. Now, let's say you're retiring at age 45. If you're projecting that you might live until 95, which could be the case if you have minimal stress from work, your portfolio has to last 50 years. That's longer than you've been alive. So that means that you're going to need to invest it appropriately. It needs to last for a long time. It needs to keep up with inflation, but it also needs to provide you cash flow in order to live on. That's a tricky thing to get through if you're not building a portfolio for your traditional 25 to 30-year retirement. Now, the other thing I see is boredom. Some people, when they're done with work at the age of 45, if they've had a very well-paying career, they need challenges because this has been their main challenge for their career. Now they get into that post-work scenario and they're finding that, okay, I've done all the hobbies I want to, I've traveled the way I want to, and I've seen all my family and I've improved my house, and now I am 50. I've got a lot of life left. What am I going to do? So you definitely have to go about FIRE very intentionally. You have to figure out, okay, am I built for a life of no work? What's my purpose going to be? What people am I going to help? What hobbies am I going to have? You have to very intentionally design your life at this point in order to not fall into the trap of not having a purpose. Now, if this is something that you're looking to see if, could I FIRE? Am I there yet? What can I do to get there? This is where a conversation with a financial advisor like myself can come into play, and we can figure out, are you there? And what do you need to do if you want to get there? So if you want that conversation, my name's Dave Grant. My firm is Retirement Matters, and I'll see you on the next video.
Dave Grant is the founder of Retirement Matters, a wealth management firm in Barrington, Illinois. Dave specializes in helping people transition into retirement, specifically executives at AbbVie and Illinois teachers in the TRS pension system. If you have concerns about your retirement transition and want help from a fee-only advisor with decades of experience helping people like you can learn more at www.retirementmatters.co.